Do you ever feel exhausted by how often difficult things seem to happen? It's like the moment something good appears, something painful is already knocking on the door, and you never truly get a chance to catch like a break. Or maybe when you are finally alone with your thoughts, your mind starts filling them with everything that hurts and negative things. And when that happens, all you can think is, I just need a break. I just want to finally feel good. I need peace. I want to see something good happen in my life and stay there for a long time. Believe me when I say this, I know so well how this feels. When you have been carrying pain for years and years, all you hope is for one good thing to happen and for it to last. And of course, when we are in this state of mind, all we want is to feel better. We do not want to look at the pain over and over. We just want it to get away from it as quickly as possible. When we are in this state of mind and not fully understand what is happening to us or why this feels so intense, of course, we do know what caused it, but a lot of us do not know much beyond that. So, what do we do when we do not understand something fully? We start to fear it, to hate it. And then, just as our caregivers and society taught us, we look for ways to escape it through distractions, of course. So we go to concerts, parties, we buy things that we actually don't need, watch a lot of TV, travel constantly maybe, gaming for hours, become addicted to the gym, or just find a way to avoid sitting with that what we feel for a long time. We try these things because we hope that it will make us feel better, give us moments of happiness, and or at least help us feel less of the pain. And it works a lot of the times. But here is the problem. It is absolutely possible to reach the place where you feel good, peaceful, happy, and more positive and all that. But you cannot get there by trying to jump straight from pain into happiness without facing what is actually hurting you. And this is the part that nobody really wants to hear about. We all just want to go straight forward. So there are two states of mind that can keep you stuck in this negative spiral, almost as if you are trapped in a rat race and you cannot escape it. First is this idea and this strong desire that to get there, you need to go a straight line. So from where you are to instantly finding someone that gives you all this happiness, or finding something that gets you right there very quickly and never go back. This is actually the same kind of illusion and belief that the drug addicts have. The promise of immediate relief without having to face what is underneath it. And the second one is the survival mode that you are currently living in. So the first one doesn't need much explanation, even though it would be wonderful, amazing if it worked out that way. But life simply doesn't function like that. It wouldn't make actually a lot of sense. And have you noticed how much movies have taught us to believe in this idea? Many stories follow the same pattern. Someone is unhappy, or lonely, or single, or even trapped in a really toxic and painful relationship. And then the perfect person appears and changes their whole life. And when they finally are able to get together, suddenly everything becomes beautiful. No more pain, no more loneliness, no more problems. It's all a wonderful land. We might not realize how deeply these stories influence the way that we expect life, love, and even healing to happen. But I will come back to this topic later. Now, the second state is more difficult to change and to work through. We all develop different types of survival modes, and all that depends on how we were raised and how limited, conditional, or emotionally unsafe our childhood environment was. So, survival mode is made up of these defense mechanisms that begin forming when we were kids, babies practically. And they were created to help us survive in our family dynamics. For example, if your family despises seeing crying in front of others, it's something that they do not accept, it's not pretty, then every time that you cried as a kid, you have felt the rejection, you have been mocked or criticized or made feel a lot of shame. And as a result, your ego, so your rational mind, created a defense mechanism, a new personality, where you learned to not cry in front of others. And instead, you might make jokes or laugh or just act like everything is fine whenever a painful feeling or a difficult situation appears. It's almost like you are pretending nothing has happened. For everybody, it's different what kind of defense mechanisms is created. The same event may happen to everyone, but we respond in a different way. It all depends. And we are full of this kind of strategies. They are formed throughout the childhood and even later in life. And at that time, they really served us well because they helped us become whatever our parents, friends, and others would approve of. In that way, we avoid feeling rejected, denied, or ridiculed. We felt more accepted like that. But the problem is that right now, as adults, this is exactly what is making it impossible for you to feel good, to liberate ourselves from suffering, and not feel that bad all the time. And the reason is that even though these coping mechanisms served us so well when they were first created, that doesn't mean that they were actually healthy. In fact, most of them are deeply toxic patterns. So take the example that I mentioned early. Imagine a child who learns that crying in front of others is unacceptable. So to avoid rejection and criticism, the child has forced themselves to not cry. And in doing so, it created a split within. One part of them, the part that cries and expresses vulnerability, it's labeled as bad, weak, or unacceptable. It's really looked at like an evil thing. And the other part, the one that makes jokes and laughs and appears cheerful, it's seen as safe and socially accepted. So as a result, both of these sides continue to exist within the person, within us. The difference here is only that the one side is the one that is shown to the world, while the other is pushed into the background, so denied. But it never disappears. And do you know something even crazier? The part of you that you had to reject and see as negative, so in this example, the crying one, it stayed kind of frozen. And what I mean by this is that the age at which this happened to you and you were forced to make the split is the age at which the crying part remains. So if you were 4 years old when this happened, it remains 4 years old. This is why you hear things like you need to heal your inner child, or you should give love to the child inside of you, and so on. This is what those expressions are referring to. And we all have a lot of these types of splits and traumas. There is no person on earth that doesn't have that. The only question is, how bad are they? So with all of this, what does this even mean then? How can I go from this place of pain and suffering to feeling better and peace and being excited for long periods of time? You're probably not gonna like the answer, but yes, you do have to face it. You have to look at it one more time at what is causing you that pain. But this time, you are not going to look at it with disgust or fear or hate. You are going to look at it with the intention of trying to understand it, learn how to actually feel it, and learning how to see it, and with that, freeing it and changing it. A lot of people, especially the ones who have never done any healing work, they all say the same thing. Why? Why should I look at my past? I don't believe that looking at what happened when I was a child or a teenager will change anything. Those things are in the past. And the past, it's over. It's done. I don't need to waste my time looking back at what happened. Nothing will change. But this is exactly the same as saying, all I want is to feel good. Nothing else. I don't want to look at the pain. And because we all learn to distract ourselves, like I mentioned before, with our cell phones, gaming, and so on, and because those things, they do give us instant gratification and small amounts of feeling good, even though soon after we go back to feeling bad, we created this desire and idea that healing pain and letting go of suffering should work the same way. We want to jump from the terrible feeling that we are having to instantly feeling amazing and peaceful and free. We expect that. We want that without having to face anything painful or go through some more bullshit. So here you have a choice to make. Do you want to continue the way you are, knowing that the things will continue to stay like this, not improve? They probably will get worse. That's the case. A lot of people choose not to change because they say, it's safe, it's my comfort zone. I'm afraid that if I try something else, then it will only get worse. If you are like that, then don't forget that what you are saying is, I am so used to this pain that I know I can carry it without dying from it. It hurts, but I'm used to it. And it feels so familiar that I don't recognize a life without this pain anymore. I don't know how it feels like, but this is your choice. And it is important that you understand that it is you and only you who is choosing every day to stay in it. Or you can say like I did. I came to a point where I said, I am so tired of this. I feel so exhausted that I either make this go away and I find a solution. No matter what new thing I have to try and what I have to look at, I don't care. Either I find a solution or I give up. I will not continue to live life like this. So for me, I came to a point where my state of mind was so bad, so low, that I couldn't take any more days like that. So I even set a date. So I told myself that I was going to search for and try different things for 6 months to understand my inner world, to be able to heal it, so that I could finally stop the pain. And it was at that point that the things actually changed in my life, because I preferred to try different things, knowing that I could actually get a little bit more hurt, but at least I would be able to say, I tried and it didn't work. A lot of us only try to change something when life comes to a point that it's so bad and it is so low that there is no other option than to do something different or ask for help or learn something new or just move on, especially when we are just starting the healing journey. It was like that for me. I only started because of how low I was in my life. But actually, it doesn't have to be like that. Waiting for things to be so bad that only then you make a move, it's so much painful. I cannot even describe it. It's so much worse. But at least it's good to know that you have a choice. Either let the ship sink as deep as you can, or you change it now. And here's how I understand pain and how I see why I had to go through all that suffering. So, first of all, you never, never, never deserved all the pain and bad situations that you have gone through. You didn't deserve that, and it's not about that. So, the reason why, in my perspective, is that going through all that suffering, and then healing from it, make me become a different person. It creates a different personality. It changes something in us, in our life, and the way that we see the world and other people, all that changes as well. I know that it sounds stupid and unnecessary, but for me, knowing this actually helped me a lot, accepting the fact that life will always come with challenges until we die. And it is true. After overcoming something difficult, releasing it in a healthy way, and learning the lesson that it was trying to teach us, we do become a different person. And that will make us react differently to the world and to other people around us. So my hope for you all is that you don't get to wait until things get so bad and so low before you make a completely big change in your life, or a small one, it doesn't matter, and trying a different approach, and especially starting to look inside yourself. Try to understand your thoughts, your world. Don't make the same mistake as I made. Now, I always try to not allow myself to get that low for me to make a move. That's still one of my practice. So I hope this helped you in some way, and as usual, I wish you a very nice week.